everybody, my name is Allison. I'm the Programs Outreach and Youth Services Manager here at Monterey County Free Libraries. Thank you for joining me today for another episode of STEAM Time. Today we are going to do an experiment to determine which shape is strongest, a triangle, a circle, or a square. So in order to do this experiment, you are just going to need a couple of things. You are going to need 3 pieces of paper. I'm using construction paper, and I did different colors just for fun to have different colors for the different shapes. You're going to need some tape, and then you are going to need some books because that is how we are going to be testing out our shapes. So to get started, we are going to, like I said, use each piece of paper for each different shape. So first I'm going to make our circle. So what we're going to do is just round our paper like this, roll it up, and leave it so that there is a circle. So we're creating a cylinder, and we'll just put 2 pieces of tape on to keep it together. 1 piece of tape on each end should be just fine. All right, so here is our circle. Next, we're going to do our triangle. So to make our triangle, you are going to fold your paper from one side to the halfway point and crease it down, then fold from the other side to the halfway point and crease it down. And then you're gonna unfold and fold your piece of paper in half and do a crease. So you'll have 4 creases. And then to make our triangles, you're going to start to fold it in half, and these 2 sides flaps will go over each other, and we'll tape these down with 2 pieces of tape, 1 on each end. So there we have our triangle. All right, last we are going to make our square. So for our square, we're going to do 4 folds. So we're going to fold from one side about 1/4 of the way in, and then we'll fold that over so that we're half. And then we'll fold this last flap in half. And then you'll start to roll that up like you did the other ones, so that it goes like this, and this last little flap is what we're going to use to tape. Again, 1 piece of tape on each end. And there we have our square. Okay, so I have my 3 shapes here. I refolded my square a tiny bit to make it a little bit more square, but we have, as you can see, 3 distinct shapes. And what we're going to do next is test out their strength by piling books on top of them. But before we do that, I want you to make your hypothesis, which is what you think is going to happen. Which shape do you think can hold the most books and thus be the strongest shape? So come up with your hypothesis. You can write it down. You can share it with a friend that you're watching the video with, and we're going to test it out. So I am going to hypothesize that the triangle is going to hold the most books. And you can write down why you think that might happen. It could just be a totally wild guess, whatever you like. But I am going to start testing with our square. So to do this, I'm just going to take books and start piling them on top. And we can count. So we have 1, 2, already at 2, our square fell apart. All right, so we had 2 books for our square. Since I said the triangle, I'll do the triangle next, and we'll do the same order of the books. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, 5. So our triangle held 5 books, and that fall was so dramatic that it knocked my camera over. So 5 books on our triangle, 2 on our square, 5 on our triangle. All right, last one, our circle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, So that got up to 7 because it fell down with 8. So our circle was the winner. So to further this experiment, you can write down why you think the circle held more than the triangle or the square. And of course, I would be interested to know if your shapes had the same outcome as my shapes. Some other questions that you can ask yourself are, does it matter if the books are small or big? Do all the books need to be the same size? Does different sizes impact how many books the shapes can hold? There are all sorts of different variables that come into play. And a variable is a different outside factor that impacts our experiment. So there's all sorts of different things that come into play when testing the strength of these shapes. You can also try different shapes and make all sorts of different shapes and see which shape is the strongest. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope that you had fun with this activity, and I'll see you next time on STEAM Time. Bye-bye, everyone.